When the glory comes, it will be ours. It will be ours. Oh, one day, when the war is won, we will be sure. We will be sure. Hello. Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeremiah Sanford, the President of Students of Color and Allies for Equity, Justice, and Inclusion.
Hi, I'm Andrea Hall. I'm the treasurer of SILCA. And
hello, I'm Damani Daughtry, a senior at RMHS.
First, we'd like to welcome Mr. Albert Pless, Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion from the town of Reading.
Good morning. Thank you to our amazing MCs for this event. Again, my name is Albert Pless. I'm the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the town in the Office of Equity and Social Justice. Again, thank you. You look amazing. Just give yourself a round of applause. And if you could see what I see, you would just be in awe of this. So I want to welcome you to this amazing event. This is my first event that I'm here. I'm here about 3.5 months, so I'm still kind of figuring out where things are, but it's been a welcoming environment, so thank you for welcoming me here to the town of Reading. And you know, we're excited about this event in terms of bringing together all the sectors of our community. You know, so our youth, our elders, you know, our school community. So this is an amazing elected official. So really thank you for attending. I know the weather out there could be challenging for you, so thank you for coming and taking part in this event. I want to thank our town leadership, our school leadership for the continued support in this event. It couldn't happen without their leadership and their support, so thank them for their support, their continued support for the event. And again, thank yourselves for you just participating in this amazing event, celebrating Dr. King's legacy. So that being said, we'll pass it back to my amazing MCs to move along our program.
Next, we have an interfaith invocation in choir by the Reading Clergy Association. Service through faith was an integral part of Martin Luther King's journey, and through interfaith and invocation in choir, we hope to reaffirm our commitment as a community to peaceful coexistence and solidarity for justice across multiple faiths.
Good morning. My name is Reverend Amelia Attridge. My pronouns are she, her, and I am the minister at First Congregational Church of Reading United Church of Christ and the president of the Reading Clergy Association. I'd like to invite you all to take a deep breath and recognize your body in the space, where you feel in your seat. Maybe close your eyes if you like, if you feel comfortable. Recognizing that we are a group of people of diverse beliefs and backgrounds. I may pray from my tradition, you may pray from your tradition, or you may take this time to reflect, maybe offering just a moment of gratitude for the diversity that we have present here. Will you join me in the spirit of reflection and prayer, and however that is meaningful to you? Sacred universe and God of many names, we come today with gratitude for the fabric of humanity that has been woven into a tapestry of connection, with each thread of nuance and experience and background. As Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King had said once, that we are all caught up in an inescapable network of mutuality, tied in a single garment of destiny. Whatever affects one directly affects all indirectly. And so we ask, with humble gratitude that we acknowledge the single threads in this great garment of humanity. We remember the legacy of Dr. King, and we honor each sacred person here today. We pray, Amen. Thank you.
Next, we have a rendition of the African American National Anthem, brought to you by RMHS Mixed Choir with RPS students and Soka for EGI, directed by choral director Dr. David Mosher. Did you know that the African American Anthem was originally written as a poem by James Weldon Johnson in 1899? When Jim Crow laws terrorized Black people in America, Johnson's brother, John Rosamond Johnson, put the verses to music. The anthem was first sung by 500 African American school children in Jacksonville, Florida, on February 12, 1900, as a part of a birthday celebration honoring Abraham Lincoln.
So, ladies and gentlemen, in front of you this morning is the RMHS Mixed Choir. And as our SOCA students just said, we're going to be singing the African American National Anthem for you. We have also, for the last month, had all of our RPS schools, the students in those schools, learning the same piece. So we want to invite, if you're a student here in any elementary, middle school, or in the high school, and you've been learning this piece and would like to come up now and sing it with us, would you make your way down to the risers at this time? So let's welcome them. We also invite Soka down to join us. Looks like they're here. Come on down. And you can just fill in on the risers as close as you can get. It's fantastic to have you guys here with us. And if you don't find room on this side, there's some more room on this side. There's also room on the floor here for you in the center, so don't be bashful. And lastly, the lyrics to the African American National Anthem are going to be projected on the screen up here, so if you guys would stand and join us in the house and sing with us. Thank you all so much. Students, you may return to your seats with your parents. Mixed choir, you can have a seat over here. And thank you all for singing with us.
Next, we have a video clip of Dr. Martin Luther King's speech compiled by RMHS faculty and employees.
In international relations, we must come to see this. We must find some alternative to war and bloodshed. In a day when man-made vehicles are dashing through outer space and guided ballistic missiles are carving highways of death in the stratosphere, no nation can win a world war. It is no longer a choice between violence and non-violence. It is either non-violence or non-existence. The alternative may well be a civilization plunged into the abyss of annihilation, our earthly habitat transformed into a tragic inferno that even Dante cannot imagine. So this is our challenge, to see that war is obsolete, cast into a limbo. I do not wish to minimize the complexity of the problems to be faced in achieving disarmament and peace, but we shall not have the courage, the insight to deal with such matters unless we are prepared to undergo a mental and spiritual change. It is not enough to say we must not wage war. We must love peace and sacrifice for it. We must fix our visions not merely on the negative expulsion of war, but upon the positive affirmation of peace. We must see that peace represents a sweeter music, far superior to the discords of war. Somehow, we must transform the dynamics of the world power struggle from the negative nuclear arms race, which no one can win, to a positive contest to harness man's creative genius for the purpose of making peace and prosperity a reality for all of the nations of the world. In short, we must shift the arms race into a peace race. All that I've said is that we must work for peace, for radical justice, for economic justice, and for brotherhood the world over. We have inherited a big house, a great world house in which we have to live together, black and white, Easterners and Westerners, Gentiles and Jews, Protestants and Catholics, Muslim and Hindu. If we all learn to do this, we, in a real sense, will remain awake through a great revolution. I urge you to continue the tradition that you have followed so long, for this institution has probably done more than any other to support the struggle for racial justice. You have given your time, you have given your earnings, you have given your bodies, you have participated in demonstrations, you have participated in the determined struggle to keep this issue in the forefront of the conscience of the nation. I urge you to continue to do so as you go out into your various fields of endeavor. Never allow it to be said that you are silent onlookers, detached spectators, but that you are involved participants in the struggle to make justice a reality.
The voice of the speech was an RMHS student, Jameer Celestin.
Next, we would like to welcome the Korean Church of Nazarene Choir performing a piece entitled Herald of Good News. next, we'd like to present the Students of Color and Allies for Equality and Justice and Inclusion to share quotes from prominent Black figures.
My humanity is bound up in yours, for we can only be human together. Desmond Tutu.
Struggle is a never-ending process. Freedom is never really won. You win it and earn it in every generation. Coretta Scott King.
When I dare to be powerful, to use my strength in the service of my vision, then it becomes less and less important whether I am afraid. Audre Lorde.
For there is always light, if only we're brave enough to see it, if only we're brave enough to be it. Amanda Gorman. We have a tolerance, respect, and equality in our written laws, but not in the hearts of some of our people. Ruby Bridges.
Great men cultivate love, and only men cherish a spirit of hatred. Assistance given to the weak makes the one who gives it strong. Oppression of the unfortunate makes one weak. Booker T. Washington.
Life is a hard battle anyway. If we laugh and sing a little as we fight the good fight of freedom, it will make it all go easier. I will not allow my life's light to be determined by the darkness around me. Sojourner Truth.
Change will not come if we wait for some other person, or if we wait for some other time. We are the ones we've been waiting for. We are the change that we seek. Barack Obama.
The demands of civil rights era were limited to voting rights. They strove for an end to segregation in all aspects of life, including housing, employment, and public accommodations. Alessia Garza.
Impossible is not a fact, it's an opinion. Impossible is not a declaration, it is a dare. Impossible is potential. Impossible is temporary. Impossible is nothing. Muhammad Ali. We would like to bring back Mr. Albert Pless, the Director of Diversity, Equity, and Inclusion for the town of Reading, who will tell you about our guest speaker.
It's an honor to introduce our keynote speaker, for me to introduce my keynote speaker, Lateefah Zayed. Before I read her bio, which is in the programs, how'd you thank this person that I've called a friend for over 25 years for her commitment to equity and social justice at all levels. Again, you'll read some of this in the bio. She's never been about just saying the thing. She's always been about doing the thing. And I've watched her on a professional and personal side of that action step. So again, this is an honor and a pleasure to have her with us. And I've also watched her, again, that doing thing, raise 3 amazing daughters. One's here today. You may see her walking around taking some pictures, Amani, but also Sajda, as well as Sade. So again, just excited for this opportunity to have her at my first MLK event that I did. So thank you. I'm just going to read her bio for you guys. Lateefah Zayed is a New England native who grew up in Roxbury, Mass. Being the daughter of the late Roxbury activist and artist Jacqueline Muhammad, and granddaughter of the slain civil rights leader and judge Baraka H. Turner of Atlantic City, New Jersey. Lateefah grew up under the influence and leadership of equity-fueled activism. Lateefah went on to work for the first Black mayor of Jackson, Mississippi, R.B. Johnson, as a mayor's liaison to planning, research, and development. Lateefah returned back from the South, landing a position as the first Director of Economic Development, MACDC, the Massachusetts Association of Community Development Corporations, and helped them develop the first statewide CDC conference. She then went on to become the first African-American Muslim woman to lead a social justice-based interreligious organization in the United States, according to Harvard Pluralism Project. Her work has championed equity and racial justice and led her to pursue a master's in community economic development from Southern New Hampshire University and associates of broadcast media technology from Roxbury Community College. She owns 313 WON Productions, a media company for social good, and is the mother of 3 girls, as I mentioned earlier, and is attending the Dr. Gregory Fields and currently resides in Dorchester, Massachusetts. So, thank you.
Greetings, ready. Thank you, Albert, for your humbling introduction. The check is in the mail. I've known Albert for many years. In fact, I originally believe we met in college in Virginia when our paths first crossed. One of the great characteristics of Albert is that he's a straight shooter and very caring. And I'm sure as you've gotten a chance to be around him, you probably picked up on that. I also want to thank the students of color and allies for their warm welcome and inspiring words. Let's give them a round of applause again. I don't know who keeps rolling their tongue, but keep doing it. It's very inspiring. I was told that this is their second time for doing this program, and what a wonderful job they have done. Again, my name is Lateefah Turner Zayed, and I was once told by a mentor and friend that one needs to understand the difference between a role and your identity. Advice that has served me well in not internalizing the inevitable transitions of life as a value measures of self-worth or purpose. So although my role here today is to speak with you about justifying discrimination in the 21st century, and connecting that with Reverend Dr. Martin Luther King's vision for beloved community, my identity is being a person that strives to improve systems by researching and engaging in life in exploratory ways that honors, leverages, and maintains its integrity, all the while daring to poke at it with love, in order to harness and yield greater depths of understanding and use. Yes, I, for one, am simply in awe of you. Like many of you, I have been passed this rich baton of the gift of existence as a result of many forefathers and mothers, both through blood, sacrifice, and vision. Two in particular in my personal journey were my paternal grandfather, Maceo H. Turner, Esquire, a prominent lawyer, municipal judge, and war hero from the civil rights movement, who as a captain in General Patton's army earned the Silver Star and worked with Martin Luther King on justice issues through his post as the president of the NAACP in Atlantic City. Martin Luther King visited his home with his family, and upon his death, Thurgood Marshall telegraphed the house when he passed in 1968, a few weeks after Dr. King. And in the balance of that identity, another prevalent figure is my mom, Jacqueline Muhammad, an artist and local Roxbury activist who, when a police car would pass us on the streets with roaring sirens, she would turn the car around, no matter where we were already headed, whip out a camera, and stay at the scene just to promote equity in an unjust environment for African American young men in urban communities. Take a moment to think about who has been an influencer in your life and invite them to sit with us here today. You don't have to call them out, just think about them. Do you have a MLK ritual for yourself? Does anybody have an MLK ritual for yourself? I'm not going to ask you to shout it out, but as my personal ritual in celebrating MLK Day, I generally sit and wait for the most inspiring comet to hurtle through the sky of possibilities and land on my dreamy horizon. And like clockwork, this happens every year. This alignment of my birthday and Martin Luther King's Day is the personal gift and journey to myself. So when Albert Pless invited me to come and speak to you today, I was naturally compelled to say yes. In fact, it was actually a little eerie because, like a weird case of deja vu, I've been here before. I believe it was here in 2016 to address the MLK event here in the town of Reading before, and I'm glad to be back invited to this very sacred event. I'm glad we have someone shouting out. Yet, although I'm familiar, I'm still quite nervous to be up here because in reviewing what the town's most known for, 3 things came up. A solid educational system, so I can't share alternative facts without being checked. Efficient town services, so you have a coordinated strike team for likely more than just potholes if I mess up. And protect your belly buttons or your sensitivities the 1969 exodus of Bill Russell. So you know how to single-handedly block a 6'10", 11-time NBA champion. Quite impressive. But seriously, Reading is not only the only place in America known for discrimination of some sort in the history of its existence. Sundown towns, all white municipalities offering restricted movements for African Americans, were prevalent in this country in the mid-20th century since colonial era. And let's face it, segregated cities and opportunities persist even today. And for many, it feels like a trajectory of human rights degradation taking us back 100 years, or perhaps just revealing what has always been here. In Florida, there are currently 16,000 books banned, including some dictionaries. The landmark case of Brown versus the Board of Education was nullified by the Supreme Court strikedown of affirmative action last year. Historically, in this country, blacks could not use the same public infrastructure, including transportation, education, and housing, because of Jim Crow laws. Lynching, disenfranchisement, and segregationist laws helped to mold an inherent systems of landscape we have today. Yes, it gave birth to the current Black Lives Matter movement. And on January 6, 2021, the United States Capitol was attacked. And that attack didn't stay within the walls and the buildings there in Washington, D.C. The vibrations can still be found pulsing throughout the globe. In its wake, tensions are so high that even college campuses can't be a place of debate. When the first African-American woman president of Harvard University, Claudine Gay, who sat at the pinnacle of Ivy League education, feels inclined to leave the institution within 6 months of accepting the post, Houston, we have a problem. She serves as a litmus test for the temperament of the pulse of justice in the United States. A public lynching that says to every black man, woman, or child, along with Latina and other ethnic groups, you are not safe or welcomed here unless you fully subscribe to our thoughts for you. And let's face it, not even then. Similar to the sentiments of black loyalists in the late 1700s who moved to Sierra Leone, and the Garveyites who later moved to Liberia to seek the possibility of a better life, African descendants today are looking to exit the United States to head to places like Ghana to seek refuge from systemic racism and raise their families in peace. But with 25,000 people killed in the Gaza since October 7th, 10,000 of them being children, and 90% of the population currently homeless. If you compare this to the American population in terms of population percentages, its equivalency is 4 million people here in the United States. I argue, where are you really going? If you don't correct injustice where you stand, inevitably there is nowhere to run. Although it may appear so, I'm not speaking to you as an African American woman. No, that's simply a social construct. A dominant African genotype hiding my Caucasian, Polish, British, Spaniard, as well as Native American lineage. I'm speaking to you as a human who loves other humans despite their limitations and need for growth. I know it is scary to speak truth to power, but I don't think I'm here accidentally because the town was celebrating the idea of Reverend Martin Luther King's ideals about dreams or mountaintops. The establishment of a beloved community is a benevolent task not made for the faint at heart. And not resting on the theoreticals, but rather exploring economic vitality and systemic change. Yet the town of Reading has something unique in its portfolio, distinguishing it from other places. An unfair advantage, really. You get to look back and examine your personal history of racism told in the story of Bill Russell, that I'm sure is embodied in many others. Clean up the garbage in that era, like the city services in which you best are known for. Take the excellence in education that you master and conquer the divisions that ultimately diminish our full potential as human beings. This challenge will show us who we really are as human beings. We can choose to be bystanders, perpetrators, or simply inheritors for justifying discrimination. Or we can learn from history, understand that injustice anywhere is an injustice everywhere. The learned are those who practice what they know. Education is a place to perpetuate civility. If you can't fight for each of us to have access to opportunity and peace, it erodes freedom and possibility of success for us all. If I had to leave you with one piece of advice, it would be to treat others the same way you want to be treated. Thank you.
We will now conclude with This Little Light of Mine, led by RMHS Mixed Choir and Dr. Mosher. We ask the audience to stand and join into the singing.
If you are an RPS student, K through 12, elementary all the way through high school, if you've been learning this song for the last month, come join us on the stage again. So we'll give you a moment to get down here, and we ask that everyone in the audience please stand as we close with this song of participatory singing together.
This little light
Thank you all so much for coming today. We hope you have a wonderful MLK Day. Enjoy the rest of your day.